All right, I want to share something with you. A handful of secrets that honestly could change everything about how you experience your life. And it all really boils down to one simple, but pretty powerful question. What if this single greatest key to unlocking a life that feels meaningful and present and full of joy was remembering that you're going to die? I know, that sounds incredibly heavy, but just stick with me for a second. This isn't about being morbid, not at all. It's actually about waking up. Because the moment we truly face our biggest limitation, it becomes our greatest teacher. And the very first thing it teaches us about is our relationship with time and, our ability to be present. It kind of forces us to look at the two most powerful forces that really shape every single one of our days. So this brings us to our very first secret. You've got to understand what your true currency is. And I'll give you a hint. It's not money and it's not status. The philosopher Seneca put it perfectly. He said the true cost of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. Think about this. Every single day, you get 86,400 seconds. You can't save them for later, and you can never, ever earn more time. This is what you've got. And we trade this incredibly precious, finite resource for everything we do. Our jobs, our relationships, the habits we keep. So the real question becomes, are you making good trades? And that leads us to a really hard truth. Later is a lie. It's probably the most common lie we tell ourselves. We say we'll start really living when we get that promotion, or, when the kids are a bit older, or when we finally retire. But the truth is, if you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Regret is almost always born from the things we just keep putting off. Okay, so if time is our most valuable asset, then secret number 2 is all about learning how to truly own it, how to possess it. Life is only happening right now, not in the past. That's just a memory. And definitely not in the future. That's just a fantasy. This moment, this is it. We spend so much of our finite time worrying about what's coming next or replaying what's already done that we completely miss the only thing that's actually real. So just for a second, I want you to ask yourself this question. Where am I right now? Are you fully here, listening in this moment, or is your mind somewhere else? Because being present, truly present, is the only way to genuinely spend the currency of your time. All right, so once we really get the value of our time and the importance of being present, the next logical step is to make sure the life we're actually being present for is our own. And that takes authenticity and courage. And that brings us right to secret number 3, how to free yourself from a trap that steals more joy than almost anything else I can think of. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's so easy to do, right? We look at other people's lives, their careers, their relationships, their curated highlight reels on social media, and we start to feel like we're falling behind. But you are on your own road. Wasting your precious present moments measuring your journey against someone else's is truly the fastest path to regret. Your life isn't meant to be a copy of someone else's. It's an original. But living that original life, your own authentic life, it requires something we're often taught to be afraid of. And that leads us to the 4th secret. Vulnerability. The researcher Brené Brown has taught us so much about this. Vulnerability is not weakness. In fact, it's our most accurate measure of courage. It's about having the guts to show up and be seen, even when you can't control the outcome. It's about trading our armor for authenticity. Living a life without regret means being brave enough to be your real self, even when there's a risk you might disappoint someone. So, we've got our time, our presence, and the courage to be our authentic selves. Now, how do we actually shape our reality day to day? Well, it all comes down to the power of choice. The 5th secret is about one of the most powerful yet most overlooked forces in the entire universe. You could even call it the engine of all success. It's called the compound effect. And the formula? It's really simple. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time, that equals a radical difference. Those tiny, seemingly insignificant choices you make every single day, choosing water over soda, reading just 10 pages of a book, saving a little bit of money, they don't feel like much in the moment, but their accumulation over time, that's what creates your destiny. And this brings up a really crucial question for you. What are you compounding? Are your daily habits slowly building into health and knowledge and connection? Or are they compounding into debt and stress and ultimately regret? The choice is yours every single day. Now, the 6th secret. It pulls back the curtain on the hidden side of every single one of those choices. It's about understanding that every single commitment has a cost. Every single time you say yes to something, you are, by default, saying no to literally everything else you could have been doing with that time. Saying yes to working late is saying no to dinner with your family. Saying yes to mindlessly scrolling social media is saying no to reading that book you've been meaning to get to. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it is essential. It's about consciously deciding what you're saying no to, so you can give a powerful, intentional yes to the things that truly matter. And this brings us all the way back to where we started, to the foundational secret, the one that gives all the others their power and their urgency. Memento mori. It's a Latin phrase that means remember that you will die. The ancient Stoics practiced this idea not to be dark or grim, but to create clarity. And modern research actually backs this up. Thinking about mortality doesn't have to create fear. Instead, it can lead to a much deeper appreciation for life, a stronger feeling of connection to others, and the humility to live a better life. It is the ultimate perspective shift. Because when you truly remember that your time here is finite, things like procrastination and fear and all the petty little grievances, they just start to fade away. It's the ultimate call to action, and it boils everything we've talked about down to one final question. You have this one precious, unrepeatable human life. The choice, my friend, is yours. Will you live it, or will you let it slip away?